There we go. Let's do that again. So Satnam Aloha. My mic wasn't on. So happy new moon. It's the new moon today. And just to put it in context of, where we're headed in terms of our evolution and what the planets are showing us. So the last new moon in April was in the shadow of shock. Remember, if you saw that video in April? And it's the gift of initiation. So, we're going to get challenged one way or another. There's no avoiding life's challenges. So life will challenge us, or we initiate the challenge ourselves, right? So you can either go one of two ways. So something got initiated for you back in April, like the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th. So it could have been a sudden, rash decision, right, that you made. You may have even surprised yourself. But it wasn't entirely, a surprise because it was something that's been bothering you for a long time, right? Or life did it for you. Life initiated you somewhere new. So now you're in a whole other state of consciousness. Even if your outer life, right, isn't really reflecting that back to you, its life hasn't caught up with the inner shifts yet. So this new moon is in the sign of Taurus, and it's in the gift of orientation and unity. And it's the shadow of dislocation. So now this new moon is saying, remember, we're initiating a whole new, right, from new moon to new moon. So this new moon is saying, okay, so you initiated something, and now it's time to orient yourself to this new reality. And with this shadow, when you're in the shadow frequency, you can feel lost, like, I took a wrong turn somewhere. I went the wrong way because my life doesn't make sense. And maybe you've been doubting or questioning your decisions. So this shadow makes you believe that you only have yourself, you only have your ego to support you through life's challenges, right? Which isn't true. So you can feel lost or become super controlling of your life. And when you make your life decisions from the shadow, that's always a no-no to make your decisions from fear, which is the shadow or anger. What you do is you create an interference pattern, like an interference frequency that you send out. And this makes you not able to experience the unity of all of life, right? So the lesson here for this next month is to know that without a doubt that there's an invisible force that's orchestrating everything in your life. It's orchestrating everything. You think of like, how did my nails grow and my hair grows and, right, all this stuff's happening without you, saying nails grow or hair grow. It's like this invisible intelligence, right, that's in charge of all of this. So you have to know without a doubt that there's an invisible force that's orchestrating everything in your life, right? Who you meet by chance, random words spoken to you, jobs that come and go, place of living come and go. Everything in your life is in perfect unity to the whole of this universe. So you're not separate from the universe. So when I meditate on this second gene key of unity, what I see are a table, or not a table, but little iron fillings, all over a game board. And underneath the game board is this big magnet that's pulling the iron fillings, right? So this is the cosmic magnet that's pulling us, prodding us, pushing us where we need to go. And have you ever had that experience? I have a personal kind of experience that I can relate back to. And so for me, every day, I'm a creature of habit. I'm a sun in Taurus. I have a whole stellium in Taurus, so I'm a creature of habit. So every day at the same time, I come to my desk and I start my work right on my computer. And this particular day, one particular day, I felt so restless. I couldn't sit in that chair for all the money in the world. There's no way. So I thought, okay, my energy's restless and I'm clearly not meant to work right now. And I asked myself, where am I supposed to be? Where am I supposed to be right now? And intuitively, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to take my dog to a park I've never been to before, and I'll go and then I'll drop by on the way and get these special treats, right, that I can only buy for him in this place. So off I go, right? And I go and buy these dog treats. And as I'm leaving, going out the door, I turn my head just a little tiny bit, and there is an ex-girlfriend that I hadn't seen in, over 10 years, that happens to be on Maui from Canada, who happens to be there at the same time as me when I'm usually working. So that's an example of this cosmic magnet at work, like bringing us together for some unknown, mysterious reason. Sometimes we just don't know, right? Remember, we don't just communicate with our words, right? We communicate through our aura, right? We're multidimensional beings, so there's all this communication going on that you may not even be conscious of. So when you're in the gift of orientation and unity, you see these synchronicities everywhere. Right? You notice that you're at the right time at the right place. Right time at the right place. So your timing is really perfect, right? Precise. That's all part of the quality of the gift of this gene key. So this is a deeply feminine gene key. And as we come more and more into the Aquarian Age, we're going to become deeper and deeper into the divine feminine. And you may be feeling that yourself. You just can't do that oomph. You can't go into the masculine in the old way of ego, hustle, hassle anymore. You may be feeling this depth. Oh, I just want to go deep inside myself, So trust those feelings when they come. And know that you're not lost. You're never lost. And even if you go and listen to that ego, and you hold your ego's hand, and you go down a bad neighborhood together, the cosmic magnet's going to orient you and bring you back, right? Bring you back eventually, right? There's no escaping the unity because you're part of this unity. So that's going on. This is the next moon cycle. And then at the same time, the south node of the moon and Saturn are both in the shadow of greed and the gift of aspiration, right? Trining the new moon. So the south node represents the south node of the moon, if you know astrology. It represents our past karma that needs to be eliminated, right? Especially about your relationship to the material realm. And Saturn represents our deepest fears that we've come in, right, from our past lives. And it all has to do with the material realm because it's in this shadow of greed. So we know greed, right? We see it everywhere in the collective. And greed is self-serving, it's blind, it's obsessive. It's accumulating material wealth for no real higher purpose, right? It's driven by the ego. Hey, I'm a winner, right? I'm on the top 500 richest people in Forbes magazine. I've got a mansion with 8 bathrooms, 20 rooms, 10 vintage cars. I've got a yacht, this and that, right? Whenever I think of that, that does not appeal to me whatsoever because I think 8 bathrooms, I think, oh, you got to clean 8 bathrooms, right? Or you got to hire someone to clean your 8 bathrooms. It's like a waste of time and energy, right? Anyway, I'm off topic here. But my point is we know the shadow of greed and it's how it's destroying our planet, or it seems to be on the external. But here's another aspect of greed that you may not have considered before. And the shadow of greed is also about denying the material world. Now, that's a mind twister, right? That's the shadow of greed too. I'm denying the material world. So this is pursuing your spiritual life at the grave expense of your material life. So it's pursuing your spiritual life at the grave expense of your material life. So out there serving, right? I'm the superhero, Salvador, light worker, extraordinaire. But my material world is completely falling apart, right? There's no money coming in. My health is going, right? I can't seem to get it together in the material realm. This is the shadow of greed. So it's greedy for spiritual power, greedy for spiritual knowledge, right? Wanting to just live on a white, fluffy cloud somewhere. That's your version of the, 8-bathroom mansion. It's like the fluffy cloud mansion, right? Somewhere else, anywhere else except here on the planet. So there's a universal law, and maybe you know this. Okay, universal law. That's the other thing about the Aquarian Age. We're coming back into natural law, back into universal law. So when a person runs towards Maya, right, the material world, God will chase that person. Okay, if you go too far in the material world, God will chase that person down and create a massive humbling of the ego, so that that person is forced to connect with their spiritual self, right? And there's lots of examples of that. Now, if you run towards your spiritual self, right? It's all about my spiritual self. Then Maya, the material world, will chase you down, right? And force you to connect with your material self. So this could be things like a health crisis or a financial crisis, right? Where your material world seems to be falling apart, right? So the lesson here is the balance, right? We're human. H-U-E, man, human. Light projected through the mind. That's what we are. So the lower chakras are our animal self, right? The lower chakras are our animal self. And that must merge with our upper chakras. And that's our angelic self, right? We have these two sides to us. And how do we do this? We do that through the heart, the fourth chakra. This is the great meeting ground. And this is the human, right? The human here is at the heart. So the human is the balance between the animal and the angelic self. So you may relate to this version of the shadow of greed, right? If you're watching my channel, probably you are. And this is the kind of work that we're going to be doing in the Prosperity Liberation 8-week program I got coming up. So to be prosperous, when you really tune in for you, right? To be prosperous is really to be free to be yourself, and materially, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally support it to contribute your higher purpose to the collective, which is to be yourself, right? So this program is going to show you how you are uniquely designed to operate in the Maya, right? You have your vehicle. And with this vehicle comes your laws, right? That you have laws that you have to obey yourself to operate through the Maya correctly. So it's human design, gene keys, Kundalini yoga meditation, astrology, Course in Miracles, right? All the great modern and ancient tools so that you can have an in-depth study of you, right? So you can get a PhD all about you. So it's really like getting 9 readings, right? In-depth readings. And it's alive. And you think of like 9 readings, that's $1,800. That's a lot of material to have, right? To know about yourself. This is stuff we didn't learn in school. So check it out. And I have a coupon discount for $99 off. And the code is abundance. Abundance. Okay? All lowercase for the installment plan too. Okay. So the full moon on May 18th, just to keep with this continuum, is at 11:11 a.m. here on Maui. I just love that. And it's the gift, and it's going to be in the gift of bounteousness. And this is all about prosperity, as long as you don't make compromises with yourself and your dream. And that's the shadow. So Sai Baba, if you know him, he had this gene key in an important position, and he could materialize food and other things out of thin air, I didn't see it myself, so I don't know, but apparently there's lots of testimonials that he did do that. People saw him do that, and he had this gene key. So this particular gene key is also in a prominent position in my chart. So I'm looking forward to help other people gain prosperity for themselves, because that makes me feel prosperous when I'm helping others to be prosperous as well. And don't you think we deserve just a little fun on the planet Earth? A little support? You know, it's really our time in the Aquarian Age. It's our time to come out of hiding and to be supported and to shine our light, right? So bright on this planet. It's our time. And so I feel like this is the one thing that really stops us, right? Will I be supported to do this because of this crazy egocentric world, fear-based world that we live in that's crumbling? So remember, right now, it's about orienting yourself. Okay, this is the takeaway. Right now, in the next 2 weeks, in 2 weeks to 4 weeks, it's really about orienting yourself to the new consciousness. And this means surrender and trust in the unity of all things. You're part of that, or you wouldn't exist. So wherever you find yourself, or whoever you're with, whatever workplace you're in, know that that cosmic magnet has brought you there. And just to surrender and trust that, right? You're there for a reason. So check out all the links below. And I have a new website, and it's shadowastrology.com. And my face is right there on the front page, so you know you got the right address. And everything from CATALYST Yogi is being directed there. So yeah, you'll find everything you need there. Okay, so Satnam, aloha, and enjoy your day or night or wherever you are in the world. And I don't even know if anybody's here. Oh, okay, we got a couple. We got Maria and Kay and others. That's great. So thank you for joining in, and I've got to go back and orient myself after my big move too. But I really wanted to get a message out. Okay? So have a great day, evening, or wherever you are in the world. Okay? Satnam. Aloha. Okay.